And just to pause too, I think it's a little bit ironic. Like I was sitting here and then I was like,
Yeah, I was like, he's a progressive pope, and
he is. He's very progressive. Welcome back. What episode are we on now? I think we're getting up there, aren't we? This is number 20. Is this number 25?
I think so.
Number 25. That's
One
pretty
quarter of 100.
Yeah.
25% of 100.
25% of 100. Maybe at episode 30 we should do like a celebration thing, you know? We'll do like a big event on the podcast. We can invite Ariana and...
Yeah. Well, what's special about 30?
I don't know. It's too late for 25. I thought, I was thinking like 25.
Yeah,
That's
sure.
a pretty big moment. And then I was like, well, we don't have anything that we can do here. So maybe 30, we'll do it then.
Well, maybe we could just have it be we could have a special event, but on a random day. On a random episode number. Like 26 or 27.
What about 50, though? That's
51.
Isn't 50... Well, 51. You could do 51, too.
Well, 52 is a big deal.
52? Yeah.
50 is a big deal.
51, you're closer to 100 than 50.
Yeah.
I always wonder, when people are like, wow, it's my 50th, it's going to be big,
Yeah.
right? It's like 51, you're one closer to 100. I mean, is it that it's a halfway point, or is it that it's like a scary thing, and you're like, we got to celebrate big because 50, that's insane. I can't take this.
I think most of the time it's a big deal that somebody lived till they're 50.
Yeah.
And all the stuff that's happened to them. But I'm saying 52 is 1 year.
1 year?
Yeah.
50? You mean 52 is 1 year away from 51?
No. 52 weeks is in a year. And if you have one episode per week, then it's... So the 50th and the 52nd episode are big deals.
True. I like that 52nd thing. That's like a big brain move, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, I like it.
But, 25 means we've been... Especially because we missed a couple weeks, I think. It has been a 1/2 of a year.
Yeah. We've been doing these for a while.
Yeah.
It's weird to think when I look at the episode number on YouTube, right? When I look at how many we've been coming out with and how long it's been, it's weird to put that in a time frame of one per week.
Why is that weird?
Because you're looking at it, the number's right there in front of you. Normally I don't think about how many weeks has it been since I've started doing a certain thing.
Right. What do you think? You just don't think about how much time has happened past?
I guess so. I usually think about it maybe in months or just longer stretches of time. But when I do it on a week-by-week basis and I'm looking at this is how many podcasts have been released since we first started, it's weird. It's weird to look at because you're like, there's 25 weeks. And I think about that and it's weird. I'm like, what? That's so strange.
It seems like a small number, but also if you say 6 months, it seems like a big number.
It does, yeah.
Well, 6 months, though. It's only 6 months.
That's half a year, though.
I know, but a year. But it's like, I'm sure this has been said so many times, but like as you get older, the passage of time seems less significant.
That's very true.
Like
and
1 year to somebody that's 60 is different than 1 year who's 1 year old because that's their entire life,
Yeah. And length of time. It feels shorter as you get older. Or at least that's what people say, I've noticed that to a sense. I'll think about how much times, like, I'm only 22, too. Mm-hmm. And I'll think...
Wow, you're 222? That's crazy.
222. I've been around for a long time.
I think you're the oldest person by like 60 years ever.
Yeah, I keep it a secret. I look young because I found the fountain of youth.
Yeah, I guess it was hip in the 1800s to say how old you are in a fragmented way like you did.
Yeah. It is. I'm
still... 22 too.
Oh, you are too. Okay, that's
No. That's just I was being you for a second.
Oh, you were.
Yeah, yeah.
I see. I see.
But
See,
like somebody would be like, "Oh, I'm 19.5." So if they're 195, that's what they would do.
that's how we did it back then. My mind kind of just it stretches beyond different decades.
Yeah.
I have kind of a post dementia, schizophrenia slash PTSD
Wow, that's
condition.
really intense.
Yeah, yeah. After I've lived for so long, my mind just kind of passes through different zones, and then I have to remember. It's
How long have you had that trifecta of mental illness?
about when I turned 120, I started to realize I've lived through the decade,
Yeah.
and I started to just it was hard. It
You
was hard on me.
deteriorated quickly.
Yeah, and I started thinking back to different times in my life. I started mixing up the decades. Did I do this in this decade? What's going on here? And it was
That's
bad.
the best question to ask.
Yeah.
What's going on?
What is going on? What's going on in the world?
I don't know the answer. But do you know how you decide what you believe in?
It's probably an influence of many different things, I would
That's
say.
that may be true, but that's a cop-out answer.
Okay, well, let me get into it.
Okay, great.
Let me get into the difference. So it's complex because I think when you're born, your parents, your family will have a great influence on what you think and what you believe. And then there's a stage
Unless you're in a parent trap.
Oh, that's another thing. If you're in a parent trap, that's completely different.
Yeah, but let's just avoid. Let's just say that's not involved in the equation.
No parent traps.
Yeah,
Okay, yeah,
okay.
just a regular family.
No Olsen twins are involved.
Yeah, no Olsen twins. Just the parents. Family, close relatives, raising this kid, right?
Yeah, and just in one side note, there's actually they're the Olsen triplets because there's Mary, Kate, and Ashley.
Dang, that's a lot.
Yeah, but most people don't know that.
I didn't know that.
Well, anyway, so your parents have a big influence on your beliefs?
I would say that, and then there's a stage after that, which would be the learning stage. And at that point, you're interacting with different people outside of your family, right? They're influencing you. You have school, teachers, those are influencing you. You start opening your eyes to what it's like out in society. That starts to influence you, the culture and everything. And then I'd say as you get older, again, you just come into contact with different pieces of information, different people, and that starts to influence you with this mix of your childhood beliefs, which may change or may stay the same depending on what happens in your life. I don't know.
So you think your beliefs are dependent on... do you think that beliefs are solely dependent on you interacting with other people and other people's ideas?
I wouldn't say just other people, but even maybe things that happen to you, like firsthand, like just experiences in general.
Okay.
And I'd say just things
Which
that
often have to do with other people. Other people are involved usually in experiences that you've had, right?
Yeah, I'd say so. And then there's some that are, maybe not people dependent.
Like
I don't know, you could be spending some time out in the woods or something, and I don't know, something could happen to you, and you could really start thinking.
something could happen to you, like you get attacked by a wolf.
Maybe, I don't know, something
and it eats
crazy.
your arm.
Yeah,
And you eat one of its arms.
Yeah, and you go away with this crazy experience, and you have to rethink and reevaluate what your life is.
Yeah.
Or even if you're just alone thinking. I think that can influence people too. Just as much maybe even as people who are hanging out at a party. They're talking to different people. Maybe there's some stuff that they didn't know before, and they're reevaluating things that they know or thought to be true. I don't know. Or you're thinking by yourself, and you're thinking about what you believe, and you're really diving into it, and maybe you're realizing that there's some things that you're not quite sure of. You're changing your mind. I don't know.
Okay, so you think that thinking about things can also change what your beliefs are?
I think so. I think it's possible.
Yeah, but what I want to know is how can you change what you believe on purpose? And and what happens or what causes you to change your belief even if you're not doing it on purpose? Because there are some beliefs that we have, or there's a complicated thing where basically if people believe that porcupines can shoot their quills, they cannot. But if they believe that, then they'll have an advantage in life, even though like they won't get hit, but you won't get stabbed by a porcupine. They'll have an advantage in life, even though their belief is not factual. Does that make sense? I didn't explain that super clearly.
That kind of makes sense.
So go ahead.
There's also, I think, a side to it where maybe they'd be afraid of porcupines in too large. What am I trying to say? They would be afraid of porcupines, and therefore they could miss out on experiencing what a porcupine is, because they'll think, I can't even watch one because it's going to launch its spikes at me, versus someone who knows it doesn't launch its little
right. So having that belief could be also detrimental if you were anxious all the time you saw a porcupine. But I'm just trying to come up with an example of a belief that's not based solely on factual evidence may have a beneficial outcome, and this can track to some religions, and we've had this conversation. But if you could manufacture a belief that didn't have any downside, like this porcupine thing, then I would want to have that belief, because the only guarantee that we have is that the beliefs we have, some are not accurate, and they cannot accurately create the framework for understanding what's going on.
I definitely know what you mean there. If there were no downsides to a belief where everyone could coexist, and we could understand things that are in reality still, and still move forward, as a society, and as human beings, we could still evolve and try and prevent situations from occurring that could be really damaging. But this belief system is purely based on just good values, and there's no downsides, or there's no parts of this belief that will inhibit people from experiencing life or moving forward.
Yeah.
That would be awesome. I'd like that. That would be great.
Yeah. Because to me, the only thing that does exist, or the path to an experience, or the portal to an experience, is through a belief. And so, like you said, the word reality, but the reality is perceived and digested through beliefs that you have. And so, changing what you believe changes what your experience is. And so we may not be able to conceive or like manufacture these beliefs using the belief system that we currently have, because like I said before, it's limited, and our experience doesn't allow us to conceive of what the beliefs you would want to have, because I think it'd be so much different than what we would expect. So I'm just trying to figure that out. And then another kind of piece is, I don't always know what I believe, but I do know what I believe leads to what I decide to do.
Yeah, I think that's true with a lot of people. What you believe often influences your decisions and steps that you take even in your life, right? I always find it interesting because there's most belief systems, and I only say most because I don't really know all of them that exist. Someone could, belief systems are very open ended. So someone could believe something that I don't even know exists, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm
Um,
certain of that.
but most of them have certain core values that usually are somewhat inherently good. There's a lot of them that have pieces to them that are very exclusive, right? Or they exclude people, or they often lead people to sometimes do bad things or crazy things, right? Um, but I think there definitely is some moral base to a lot of religions and belief systems. If someone didn't want to call their what they believe a religion, right? I think a lot of them have a moral function that is trying to somewhat um, keep people. I don't know how to describe it. Just with a relatively stable moral compass.
Yeah, so I wouldn't want a belief system to be something we're referencing in a text or something to make decisions. Because to me, I don't even know what the word antiquated means, but I think that's what I think that is. It's archaic. It's not even it's not like you're not actually altering your belief system. It's a conceptual thing that you try to uh, devise this path of the life that you take. It's like trying to. It's not changing your beliefs. It's just referencing other people's ideas to make decisions, often on a moral basis. And yeah, I mean, I think morality is super complex, but like if you only make your decisions based on what other people have written down, you're not changing your belief system. You're just putting other people's ideas above your ideas. So I don't think you're actually changing.
I I do partially agree with that because there's a lot of things like I would first go to maybe like even religious texts sometimes will have things written down and no one really knows why it's written down, right? And some of them will outright be I always this is the one thing that kind of gets me sometimes about religions is when they have lines that say if you do this you're going to go to hell, if you do this you're going to go to hell. It's written down, it's concrete in stone. And there's it's even simple things sometimes that doesn't even make any sense, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or it's outright telling people that these people are bad or these people are the enemy, and they need to be either converted or just absolutely, sometimes, if you look to history, killed even. Uh, and I think when you have something that's written down like that and people are saying it's absolute and you have to follow it and there's no arguing this piece of text, it does kind of create some dangerous situations where if it wasn't text, right, and it could evolve and people could manipulate it how they wanted to and could challenge pieces of the information that are available, maybe things could be different and people could evolve their beliefs and morph them into something that's more positive.
Have you heard of the Quakers before?
Yeah, they were the those people who they came to America before the United States was actually formed. They were some of the first settlers.
Like Quakers, the religion.
Yeah, they came over here, didn't they? I think I'm thinking of
I
the
don't
right
know
thing
about the
there.
history, but do you know what their belief is? What they believe and what their practice is?
No, I know they're a branch of Christianity. I believe that's why they left Europe because they weren't accepted over there. So they settled over in the Americas.
Well, obviously, in every religion, there's a bunch of branches, but what I've heard is their practice of going to church is everybody just sits in this room, and anybody that wants to say something can say something about what they believe, or maybe not even about specifically the religion. So that's an example of something that is different than what you're talking about, and is practiced. So, um,
I didn't know that. That's very cool. In school they don't teach you that about their religion exactly. They just teach you that they were their religion wasn't accepted in Europe, so they came over here and tried to find a place where they could practice, where people weren't going to,
Kill them.
yeah. I mean, oftentimes in Europe, if you didn't agree with what the church thought, that was it for you. Like the people
Yeah.
who were trying to say that the world was round, a lot of them were killed because it didn't fit in with the view. And then even the irony that the church is like, just kidding. It's actually right. Oh, if we sail across, there's actually more stuff. We can sail all the way around and end up in the same place. That's funny. We didn't just kill all those people. It's okay.
I know. So power is crazy. Okay. Do you have a favorite scene in a movie?
Ooh, I have a lot of favorite scenes.
Okay.
And just to pause too, I think it's a little bit ironic. Like I was sitting here and I was like, wow.
He's a progressive pope, and
he is. He's very progressive.
We don't even know what he believes in. So what's a scene that we could read right now?
Let's see. Okay. What am I thinking of today? Oh man, there's so many that are on my mind. It's hard because I'm filtering through movies right now.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to think of one that
has two, or maybe like max 3 people, but probably 2 people.
Okay. I'm gonna try here. Let's see. Maybe something from we talked about Good Will Hunting before, didn't we?
Yeah.
On the I think it was an episode ago or 2.
Yeah. Do you want to do that scene?
Sure. We can look at a Good Will Hunting scene.
Who would you want to be?
I'm good with either. All right. Are we gonna look up the dialogue here? And
Yeah.
All right. This is something new. Usually we have ours is just improv little bits, that we do on here. This is gonna be interesting.
Good Will Hunting. What is it called? Script?
I think so. Yeah, we might have trouble finding a specific scene.
It's not your fault.
It's not your fault. Is that what I'm gonna search for here?
I don't know what scene this is.
Okay. Me neither. But it's not your fault. Should we try and maybe we should try and make the characters unique? Like we'll create different backstories for them, but we'll use the same dialogue.
That's gonna be hard for me to do.
We can have characters.
Script. It's the therapy scene.
Am I putting "It's Not Your Fault" script in here?
Did you find something?
I don't think so. No. I put in Good Will Hunting. It's Not Your Fault script.
No. It's not. That's.
I think I found something. When you type that in, there's this first thing that comes up.
I don't know if that's the right scene though.
Oh, is it not? There's a little bit of static going on in my headphones. That was weird.
Is it gone? Or?
Yeah, it's gone now.
Okay.
I don't know if it even will show up.
All right, let's just do this one. Well, we'll see what happens.
Okay, what are you on right now? My phone's struggling too.
Oh, God.
Yeah, I don't know.
Let's do a different movie.
Okay, let's. I don't even know if I'm gonna be able to find anything. We're gonna have to find the same thing as the issue.
I'll just send you a link.
Okay. What's another movie here? I'll just I'll let you just send it.
Have you
to
seen
me.
the movie Moana before?
No, but that might even make it even better. Cause
Okay, Moana, Grandma, script. Basically, do you know what Moana is? Have you seen the trailers or anything?
Is it animated?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I have seen the. I think I've seen the commercials for it. Haven't actually seen it though. But I think that'll make it better, make it interesting.
Oh, this one has too much. God.
We could have different characters come in.
I know.
Maybe we could.
That's a lot.
It is a lot. I know what happened last episode. We had a ton of different characters, and animating them was, or not animating, but putting the effects on was a little bit challenging.
What's a fucking good scene, dude? The Departed script.
Also, this is a little message for any advertisers out there. We do bits. You know, we're pretty good at putting on little characters, and if you ever want an ad space, like when we're looking for content on the podcast, this is a slot right here. Anyone could have their ad placed right now. We'd advertise anything. I mean, look, we made water jokes before, alkaline water. Anybody. We're desperate. Okay, I didn't want to say that we're desperate, but you know, we'd like somebody. Have you ever seen the Tidy Whities clip? It's pretty funny.
Oh my god. Do you see the movie The Departed?
I don't think I have. No.
This is just a fucking nightmare, dude. Let's see. What do I? Inception is a good movie,
I've seen Inception.
but I don't know any good scenes.
What about The Matrix? We have so much stuff from The Matrix.
Okay.
That would be fitting.
Screenplay, screenplay for The Matrix. This will be great. Matrix 2. So there's a scene where I don't know.
we could even try The Two Popes. You know that
show?
Yeah, I think it won. It won an award, didn't it?
No way.
Yeah, The Two Popes.
Read script.
It'd be kind of funny.
Okay. There's a scene near the end where there's a bad guy and he's talking about manufacturing reality.
All right.
Oh, actually.
I'm hearing a little bit of static in here still.
Yeah, that's normal.
Okay, that's normal. Okay. I just keep hearing the comes in every now and then. Hope that's not showing up.
Okay, so I'm gonna send you this.
Okay.
And it's page 51.
Page 51. Okay.
Let me know when you get that.
Okay. I've got it. I've got it here. Let's see. Page 51.
Of the PDF, not of the script.
Oh, okay. Okay, I see that. I see this.
So would you rather be the Oracle or Neo?
And that's Seraph, right?
It says Oracle or Neo.
I'm getting a Seraph on here.
So yeah, scroll down until it says EXT Tenement Park Day.
I see that.
Neo steps out of a brick maintenance building of a small park. It's a stark and urban with gray pebbled stones instead of grass. Sitting on a dark green bench is the Oracle, casting crumbs into a clutch of black birds. In the distance, several children are playing on a swing set. Neo stares at her for a moment, seeing her code form, which is the same as Seraph's. Fuck knows who that is. Once again, she starts talking to him before she sees him. Would you rather be the Oracle or Neo?
I can play the Oracle. I've kind of got a character idea. I imagine
Sure.
I'm gonna make it a little bit different. You know, I'm gonna do my own spin on the Oracle.
Great.
Kind of like a hunchback, kind of like a. Let's see.
Here we go.
Okay.
She starts talking to him before she sees him.
Okay, I gotta scroll down. My phone was doing some weird stuff.
Well, come on. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, we'll have to have the crows.
Get out of here.
Well, come on. I ain't going to bite you. Come around here and let me have a look at you.
Neo steps around the bench, and the oracle's face lights up.
My goodness. Look at you. You turned out all right, didn't you? You look good, Neo. How do you feel?
I
know. You're not sleeping. We'll get to that. Why don't you come here and have a sit this time?
He remembers their first conversation.
Also,
Maybe what?
I just have to say, like, why does it actually says, why don't you come here and have a sit this time?
Yeah.
Have a seat?
No, just read the script, dude.
Okay. All right.
Maybe I'll stand.
Suit yourself.
He reconsiders, the choice of sitting or standing quickly escalating to a matter of free will versus fate. She waits. He sits. I felt like sitting.
I know.
She smiles, flinging another handful of crumbs to the birds.
So, let's get the obvious stuff out of the way.
You're not human, are you?
Tough to get any more obvious than that.
If I had a guess, I'd say you're a program. From the machine world. Some kind of software.
So is he.
Okay. He glances
wait,
at
oh, no.
Saraf, who stands guard near the door, so he's the guard. Okay. So is he.
So far, so good.
If that's true, that could only mean you're part of kind of the system. Another kind of control.
Keep going.
I suppose the most obvious question is, how can I trust you?
Bingo.
She slaps crumbs from her palms.
It is a pickle. No doubt about it. Bad news is there's no way out for you. To really know if I'm trying to help you or not.
She begins digging. I don't know. Okay. She begins digging through her purse.
So, it's really up to you. You just have to make up your own damn mind to either accept what I'm going to tell you or reject it. Candy?
She offers him a piece of hard candy, wrapped in shiny red cellophane. Do you already know what I'm going to do?
Wouldn't be much of an oracle if I didn't.
But if you already know, how can I make a choice?
Because you didn't come here to make the choice. You've already made it. You're here to try to understand why you made it.
Sorting through that bit of oracle ease, he carefully takes a piece of candy.
Thought you'd have figured that out by now.
Why are you here?
Same reason.
She digs out another piece.
I love candy.
But why help us?
We're all here to do what we're all here to do.
She twirls the candy free of its cellophane. Jesus Christ, this woman's eating a lot of candy. Okay, go ahead.
I'm interested in one thing. Neo, the future. And believe me, I know the only way to get there is together.
She pops the candy into her mouth. Are there any other programs like you?
Well, not like me, but look. See those birds? At some point, a program was written to govern them. A program was written to watch over those trees. And the wind, the sunrise and the sunset. There are programs running all over the place.
A blackbird suddenly takes off.
The ones doing their job, doing what they're meant to do, are invisible. You'd never know they were even there. But the other ones, well, you hear about them all the time.
I've never heard of them.
Course you have. Every time you've heard someone say they saw a ghost or an angel, every story heard about vampires, werewolves, or aliens is the system assimilating some program that's doing something they're not supposed to be doing.
Programs? Hacking programs? Why?
gave their own reasons. But usually a program closes exile when it faces deletion.
Why would a program be deleted?
Maybe it breaks down. Maybe a better program is created to replace it. Happens all the time. And when it does, a program can either choose to hide here or return to the source.
The machine. Mainframe.
Yes, where you must go. Where the path of the one ends. You've seen it in your dreams, haven't you? A door made of light.
Slowly, Neo nods his head.
What happens when you go through the door?
He is uncomfortable talking about it. I see Trinity, and something happens. Something bad, and she starts to fall. And then I wake up.
Do you see her die?
No.
You have the sight now, Neo. You are looking at the world without time.
Then why can't I see what happens to her?
We can never see past a choice we don't understand.
Are you saying I have to choose whether Trinity lives or dies?
No, you've already made the choice. Now you have to understand it.
No, I can't do that. I won't.
You have to,
Why?
because you're the one.
He is getting tired of that answer. What about the first one?
What about him?
Did he reach the source?
Yes,
Then why didn't he end the war?
he did what he was here to do. His path is not your path, Neo. Your path, I'm afraid, is much harder
Why?
because of the choices you've made.
He sighs. No way out. What if I can't? What happens if I fail?
Then Zion will fall.
Seraph signals to her.
Our time is nearly up. Listen to me, Neo. You can only save Zion if you reach the source. But to do that, you will need the key maker.
The key maker?
Yes. Some time ago, he was disappeared. He did not know what happened to prisoner. We did not know what happened to him until now. He is being held prisoner by a very dangerous program. One of the oldest of us. He is called the Maragabanian, and he will not let him go willingly.
What does the Malarigan man want?
What do all men with power want? More power.
From her purse, she hands him a folded piece of paper.
Sorry, it's kind of sticky. Be there at the exact time, and you will have a chance.
We must go. She stands.
Seems like every time we talk, all I got is bad news. I'm sorry for that. I surely am. But for what it's worth, you made a believer out of me.
She winks.
Good luck, kiddo.
He watches as they enter the maintenance building and close the door just as there is a sudden panic of beating wings and a black birds seem to frighten at once, leaping into the sky.
And scene.
And then it's basically Agent Smith turns into a bunch of Agent Smiths and they fight a bunch, I think.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you. Can we cue the audience the audience clap?
Sure.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You've done that before. I've never done that before.
Oh, reading off a script.
It's just acting in general. Like having to say other people's words. Like improv is cool because you just say whatever you want. But like there's that framework and then you have to advance. You have to do it.
Definitely.
Even if you wouldn't say it like that.
Yeah. I was trying to be an old
Yeah, you were a fucking
crusty,
scary person.
I was trying to be a crusty lady. I've seen the movie, right? And obviously she's not a crusty lady, but I just imagine just a crusty person, like hunchback, kind of a hood. feeding the birds, sucking on some candy in a really nasty
Yeah,
way.
that was nasty.
Crunching on it, you know? Yeah.
That was really nasty.
Yeah, yeah. I was going for the...
Did you ever see the movie Spirited Away?
No, I don't believe I have.
Are you sure? It was like, it came out a very long time ago. But basically, there's like a grandma in the film, and she actually has a twin sister. Anyway, I don't want to ruin the full film, but you were like the bad grandma in that.
Ah.
It's a very cerebral movie. It's a bunch of weird shit happens. Like
It sounds interesting.
Like dust mites. There's a guy that turns into a dragon, but not like a Charizard dragon, like a long dragon, you know, like Chinese New Year dragon.
Yeah.
It's like that. What? I don't know what the whole story arc is. I don't remember.
Is it animated?
Yeah, it's animated. And
Wait,
there's like
is
a train that goes through the water. And there's like this little ghost guy. I remember now. There's like this frog that turns into this monster and it starts eating people.
I think I know that movie.
Yeah.
Wait, is it the one where the little girl and her parents, right? They go and they find this
They turn into pigs.
Yeah, they turn into pigs because they're eating all this food, right?
Yeah, it's
and the
not
little
theirs.
girl's like all weird and is like, "No, stop eating this food." And they're like, "Oh, nom nom," and then they turn into the pigs.
Yeah.
I watched that when I was a kid.
Yeah.
That freaked me out.
I thought it was cool.
I thought it was. I would think it was
like
cool if it
so
was
epic. I thought it was like the best movie.
I liked the movie because it's very artistic, right? But I was so
Yeah.
little, I couldn't even recognize what was going on.
Yeah.
All I knew was like, the little girl's parents just turned into pigs.
Yeah.
And then she has to she doesn't know what happened to them, and it's like, what? It's like, what's going on here?
Yeah.
I think I watched it. I don't know how I watched it. I can't remember
Probably
if
on a TV.
maybe on a TV. I can't remember if I used to own a copy of it or something.
Yeah. So
I must have been
there's an
6.
evil grandma in there who has a big like wart or mole on her face, and she's evil. And she has a newborn baby, and he's like he's a giant, and he like starts crushing everything. And yeah, so you're like the evil grandma in that. That's what you sounded like.
See, I remember all these characters. It's coming back to me, but it's fragmented because it was so long ago.
Yeah.
I need to rewatch it because it was interesting. Even as a as a 6-year-old, I remember thinking it was interesting, right? But I just didn't know how to comprehend it because I was so small. I was like, "What is going on?"
Yeah, and so I don't know if it's Japanese or Chinese, but it's in that language, and there's an American voiceover, or you can do subtitles. And the most recent time I did the voiceover, and it's kind of hard to follow because their mouth movements aren't the same as Chinese or Japanese.
I don't remember having English at all. I think I just got a straight up Japanese copy.
No.
Yes, I did. Yes, because I could
No.
not understand what they were saying, and maybe there were subtitles and I wasn't reading them because I was too young. But I was 6. I would have been able to read them. So
Dude,
I'm pretty sure
That's pretty advanced for a 6-year-old to be able to read quickly.
maybe that's why. Maybe I wasn't able to really follow all the dialogue, but I just remember it not being in English.
I mean, it's a pretty gross and scary and dark at times movie.
Yeah, that's why I think for my age I was scared by the movie, but it intrigued me.
Yeah.
I've always thought about that movie too. I'll be doing something and I'll think back to it, and I always think back to the pig scene.
Yeah.
I don't know why that stood out to me as a
'Cause
kid.
That's glutton and greed combined.
Yeah.
Gluttony. That's those are two of the deadly sins,
Yeah, yeah. I think that's why it had so many different meanings packed into it, and I was so young, and I understood that this was an artistic piece, but it was scary for my age.
Yeah, pretty intense for 6 if you were 6.
What's the name? Because
Spirited Away.
Spirited Away. Okay,
Actually,
I have to remember
I bought
that.
a copy on Amazon. I don't know if I'm able to share that with you or not, but it's worth watching.
I'm gonna have to remember that because I've wanted to find it.
Yeah, no, dude, I had a similar experience when I discovered it again. I was like, damn, and there's from the same writer and animator. There's other movies. There's this thing of this giant fucking treehouse thing. I don't know if I ever watched that one, but it's pretty intense stuff. Spirited Away.
Spirited Away. There's also I think I talked to you about this before, but there was this movie also that I watched when I was a kid. It was this animated movie about these farm animals.
That could talk?
That could talk, yeah. And there was like the cows and the chickens, and the cows were kind of the head honchos of this farm. And I don't remember the name of the movie. I don't remember much of the plot. All I remember is there was this head honcho cow, right? And then these wolves are coming, or these wild animals are coming to kill the chickens, to take them. And it was weird because then Tom Petty's "I Won't Back Down" starts playing, and like he's getting like beat up, and he's like and like he's fighting him off as like "I Don't Back Down" plays, and I think he dies because he's not around anymore. There's like a grave, I think, and everything. I'm just like taking back from like what I remember from my childhood, but I don't remember the name of this movie. And whenever "I Won't Back Down" like plays, like I hear it somewhere, I always think of that scene, and I've always wanted to find out what that movie is. What's the name of it?
Yeah, I don't know.
I've typed it into
Google.
Google.
Let us know. Well, it's hard to type in all that to Google. But that's why people pay for good soundtracks to movies, because if it's a brand new song, it can only do so much for you. But if it's a nostalgic song, or if it's a song they can literally just the movie doesn't even have to be good if it has a good soundtrack. It should be good, but if it's if they just get the right songs in there, a scene will feel a certain way just because you're listening to a song that makes you feel a certain way.
Very true, yeah. And it can even make that song more sad than it would be,
Yeah, it could be amplified, definitely.
Yeah, like "I Won't Back Down" is like, all right, he's not going to back down, like, and it's supposed to be kind of like
but it's
maybe
still
a little
pop
bit
rock
inspiring.
song, like
it is pop rock.
But you're saying the scene in the movie where they're fighting to the death, it changes the meaning.
It kind of does, because it's like, oh, he's not gonna back down, he's dead. It's like, okay. And then it makes that scene seem like, oh damn, that's kind of sad.
Yeah, tragedy.
Yeah,
tragedy happens. So we'll probably do this next week, but we're working on the music video for Ariana. Have you thought about getting a green screen recently?
I have. I've been looking at a few, and they're not very expensive. You're right. I know you can get better ones. You can get like ones that maybe are $60. But I guess I'll start with something more low priced, just as long as it's big enough to, have maybe 2 people in frame.
Yeah. So this is from here to that wall is 77 inches.
Yeah.
So basically, if we replace this, it'd probably be. But it's got to be bigger because we got to cover that wall too.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, no, but I don't know if we're filming the music video in here.
We might not. I guess for in here, we could always just buy a piece of green cloth.
Yeah.
Because you just need a solid color to take out the background.
So what's the difference between the green screen you're talking about and a green cloth?
Probably not much, except you can kind of like pull it down, and it has like a stand, so it can kind of hold up on its own.
Oh, a stand by itself. Okay.
Yeah. So you can kind of stand in front of it and like reenact different things. Yeah, kind of like, I don't know.
And then there's a way to. I've seen in a shot, if there's a green screen section with a person in front of it, but there's other stuff in the shot outside of the green screen, you're able to turn all the stuff outside of the green screen, as long as there's not a person there, into more green screen.
Yeah. I think I know what you mean there. People also, they put on full like bodysuits.
Oh yeah.
And they kind of blend into the background, and they can just be a head or.
Yeah. That's
just weird stuff.
like the Bird Up.
Yeah, like Bird Up.
They won't even see me. Dun, dun, dun.
Bird Up.
Yeah, internet comedy. Okay, so we'll do that. We're also doing a different rendition of the song.
We're spicing it up. We're Do a little podcast twist.
Yeah, podcast swish. Do we have to like hire a stripper or something for it?
I think Ariana will be okay.
Oh, yeah.
She what she was wearing last time.
Yeah.
That'll be perfect.
Okay, you're right.
Not to imply that Ariana Grande is a stripper. Just if we need attractive people, and a little sexual element to the music video, we have Ariana. Not to say
Right,
she
right.
willingly, it's like any of her other music videos. It's not like I meant it in the best possible way. I'm sorry,
Yeah.
Ariana. I didn't mean it.
You've already done so much to her, dude.
I know, I called her flat. That was just me. I thought in my head, this is gonna be funny, and and she didn't laugh.
Absolutely was not.
She didn't think it was funny.
A miss, but we all miss.
Yeah.
And that's something we need to get used to. I feel like I'm missing right now, and not like on a milk carton.
You feel like you're missing.
Yeah.
Like your mind is somewhere drifting, or
No, like when you say a joke and it doesn't land, and it was a miss.
Yeah.
There's like a baseball analogy. It's like if someone throws a pitch to you, and you can knock it out of the park, right?
Yeah.
Or you could just swing and a miss.
A swing and a miss.
Yeah.
It happens every now and then.
Yeah, I don't know if it's because the episode before it's like a contrast, and like in general this might just be a good episode. In general this might be an average episode, but just coming off of a good episode. It could be a very large number of things, but that is, and sometimes it seems like it's not good when you're doing it, and then later on it's good, but that's how I would say I'm feeling now.
I know that feeling too, and I think it's impossible to know how the episode's gonna be until it's done. Because even the Ariana Grande episode, I didn't know how it was gonna turn out. I was thinking, I wonder how this is gonna all fit together.
It was pretty insane.
It was, but I think it turned out good in the end.
For sure.
Yeah, so I guess you never know.
Yeah, and I'm surprised we didn't get more views, but I guess now that we know more about the algorithm, there's probably a lot of Ariana Grande videos, and people aren't going to just click on this one. They're probably not even going to get shown it, because she had 600 million views on one of her videos.
Exactly.
600 fucking million.
I think we gotta share when I make the clip. When I turn that episode into a bunch of podcast highlights, I'll just have to share it to the Ariana Grande fans.
Yeah.
So that they can know that she was on the episode. We asked her politely if she could share the podcast episode, and she said she didn't really know. She wanted to let it naturally.
Yet.
Yeah, and the manager was kind of iffy about it. They're fine with us sharing it, but they're not going to do any promotion. That would cost a lot of money.
Yeah.
Extra that we can't be spending right now.
Right.
So we're just gonna share it manually to the fans. They need to know.
Share it manually. Instead of what? Automatically?
Automatically, yeah. I guess so. It's not automatically shared. Just have to go in and let people know.
I always think about like what people were doing before the internet.
Probably it was a very different landscape, especially entertainment, It's very
I mean, it was a large production companies ruled everything, but just like not knowing stuff, just like not knowing where somebody is and not being able to contact them, or having somebody not be able to contact you and you having to make plans far in advance, like, hey, and making conditions to that plan if somebody doesn't show up.
Yeah. A lot more planning was required back then. A lot more communication was required beforehand, and trying to learn new stuff. Like, if you don't know something or you're struggling with something, you have the internet to just search until you find your answer.
And the internet makes you struggle also.
It does, yeah. It definitely does. And the internet has a lot of downsides to it, too.
Yeah.
But beforehand, you couldn't just type into Google, I'm experiencing a malfunction with my equipment. How do I solve this this error message that I'm getting on the screen? Before, I mean, you had to actually take it to a shop. You had to go and try and learn how to operate this thing and
How do you even find out there's a shop?
You'd probably just have to look
You
in
look in the fucking white pages?
I guess so, yeah. Or you'd just have to know your town. You'd have to look on a map of your town and see what's around. Or
Do you know what they had before? Like, a map won't tell you how to get somewhere. So they had like this really extensive, it was basically like a phone book of maps and streets and stuff. And you'd have to flip the different pages to figure out how to get somewhere.
yeah,
Just, you would, like, imagine someone sending you mail, and still, I don't know how people trust the mail system. Just USPS or anybody. It's not trustworthy to me. But anyway, somebody sends you mail, here's my address. And it's maybe 30 minutes away. You've never been on those roads before. You would have to find that address on the map.
yeah.
Jesus.
It's pretty crazy, yeah.
And that was normal. People did that normally.
Yeah, I would not want to live back in that time.
But it was
It's just-
regular. It's just like that's happening now in a different capacity.
Yeah, and with this with those, if you can even call them problems back then, it probably was just normal, right?
Mm-hmm.
But with those inconveniences, let's say, just eradicated with technology, of course you have new problems, right? You have people getting isolated on the internet. You have
Texting
extremists.
and driving.
Yeah, texting and driving. You have extremist groups on the internet too, looking for people who are lonely and don't have anybody, don't have anybody in their life to keep them stabilized. A lot of big problems, people getting addicted to their phones and a lot of different things. But with that, a lot of great stuff, new entertainment, new opportunity for people, and connection is easier.
A certain type of connection is easier.
Yeah, a certain type of connection is easier, even though it has, in some cases, reduced in-person, communication.
There's only so much you can do on a text message, dude.
No, exactly.
There's only so much.
And if you're going to include phone calls, then, or even Skype, right? That's almost a different category of its own.
To me,
than
sometimes Skype's
messaging.
even worse, dude, than phone calls.
Because the lag, you think?
Yeah,
Like
the lag. And just like, at least on the phone, like, I don't know. There's some imagination. We're more used to the phone thing, but like, just seeing the other person there and not, and having it be a proxy for real life. So it's like you're almost acting like it's real life because you're kind of immersed in the situation. It's like almost what would happen if you were there. But then it's this disconnect. Like you're looking through at a zoo at a fucking lion. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, it's not really right there. There's this really thick barrier.
Definitely, and it does kind of seem weird because the eye connection. You can't look at someone's face. You're kind of just. I remember in class too, for the audio engineering class. It was like, I think even the professor mentioned this. You're looking at the screen and you can't like establish an understanding because it's just someone staring at a screen.
And I think sometimes they even say, "Hey, put my face up near where the camera is, so it looks like you're looking at them."
They never said that.
Well, I don't know if it was in that class or not.
That's a pretty good idea. That's.
But still, you don't know when somebody's actually establishing eye contact. And that's a big deal because, there's some things about eye contact that I don't think have been fully people,
I know what you mean. Yeah, all the what do you call it? Social cues that we experience when we're talking to somebody in person. Not all of them have been explored fully. Like we don't know everything about it and why it's important. Why
Right.
communication in person is important, as well as it's like having a diverse diet of social interactions. You have to have social actions in person, but then it's also okay to talk with your friends online or in a Discord call, or just um, if you want to talk to somebody and you're just at home or you're away from home, or you're just having a down night and you don't want to do anything. You're in your pajamas, you're just not feeling it, and you just want to talk to some friends. But then if you do that for a year and you never go outside, then you have a problem, a serious problem on your hand.
Did you use the pajamas as a metaphor, or do you wear pajamas?
I don't wear actual pajamas, but I wear sweatpants, and I wear sometimes like a comfortable shirt. And
Actually,
I,
to sleep?
yeah, or just to wander around in. And
Okay,
when it gets
wandering
hot in
around
the
is
summer,
cool.
then I throw off everything and I just sleep in my underwear because it's hot.
Jeez.
It's hot outside, so
You never, dude, sleeping naked's the best.
I guess I've never thought of it because I just figure, you know, it's not gonna make me that much cooler, right?
It's
So
not about temperature, dude. It's about freedom. But anyway, what I was saying about the eye contact is, some people just have fucking piercing eye contact, powerful, sometimes scary, intimidating. You don't get that over the internet. You don't know actually what somebody's energy is or their vibe is. Um, uh, and that transfers to a lot of different things. But just the contact in general is like, sometimes they're just like, they get in there.
yeah,
Sometimes.
I know what you mean. Yeah, there's some people who really they're locking eye contact.
Yeah, and it's sometimes there was this guy that I met, and he was a schizophrenic. He was manic, and one time for 3 weeks, he um had a shopping cart, and he would walk around and pick up random stuff.
Hmm.
I don't remember the whole story, but basically he went to a psychiatric institution. But one time he told me that sometimes people don't like eye contact when they're feeling insecure, and I think that can be translated to a lot of people do have insecurities, and like it's just not cut and dry. Like, if you don't look at people in the eye, then you are insecure. It's not just like that. But I tried doing some how do I say this? There was some special um things that I okay, there's some special things that I ate in small amounts over a extended period of time of 3 weeks. And he said, not that he's a credible source, but he said that people that do that don't have, like, I was just staring at him intensely, I guess. And he said that people don't have, people that do that don't have, like, that thing of, like, feeling uncomfortable looking at people. Yeah.
Interesting. Is this on the trip that you took in the van?
No, 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 no.
No.
This was uh the second time the first time that I went back to college. I was doing this thing called the action team, and I would go out into the square at the school, and I would have a sign that said action team, and then I just like had people like come up and try to sign up for the action team. And
Hmm.
one guy was talking about Tiananmen Square, and he called me a social justice warrior, which I had never heard before, but then I definitely wasn't that. But I was basically just saying, hey, you guys, do you like what's going on? If you don't, let's figure out something to do called the action team. But we never had a meeting. But yeah, it was fun, and some weird people came up, and some professors and stuff, and he said I had balls, which was pretty obvious.
He said balls?
He said I had some balls.
Oh, to go out there and
Do that,
and
yeah.
do that, yeah.
But I mean, Pretty obvious. I mean,
I just imagined a professor, just a professional walking up to the table, balls, and then just leaving like, what the hell? That was the math professor.
yeah.
What the hell's
It's
going
probably
on?
a guy in his late 30s. They have those too. Especially at a large state school. They got a lot of employees.
Definitely.
Okay. I'm hungry.
Yeah, I'm thinking it's about time to end the podcast. What time are we at here?
104.
104? That's pretty good. It's pretty good for the podcast.
Yeah, I'd say so.
It's not very good. It's shorter than our previous episode. We know.
It's great. It's great. So 25, 26, 27.
That's right.
Why is 24 afraid of 25?
Because it's larger.
26, 27, 28.
Isn't there a joke where it's like 26, 8?
Yeah, I mean, why is 6 afraid of 7?
49.
Because 79.
Because 79.
7, 8, 9.
7, 8, 9. That's right. That's the
Seven is
joke.
scary.
7, 8, 9. Yeah.
But also, why is 10 afraid of 9? Because 9, 8, 7. Just
Still works.
I hadn't heard that one before.
It's new.
Oh, I had one good idea that I don't remember. Oh, you can't depend on shallow friends.
That's right. You were telling me about that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I like it. You explained to me the what do you call it? The imagery within that as well, because I'll let you explain it, but the shallowness of like a pool as well, and deep.
Yeah, because
versus
usually
deep,
there's a
like-
pool and it looks like this, and there's a shallow end and a deep end. So depend is a perfect rhyme with deep end and just a few letters off. So you can't depend on shallow friends. Yeah, you shouldn't dive in the shallow end either, unless you want to die.
Or
So-
unless you want to, maybe you're doing a little bit of a little flat kind of move. You're just falling in like, and it's shallow enough to where you're not gonna.
Well, that's not a dive though.
Maybe we could turn it into a dive.
Like
Maybe,
head first.
Not head first. Maybe,
But that's not a dive. I
what
mean, there's
about
like a pencil dive, but that's fake. That's a fake dive.
Really, you think the pencil dive? Like the like the straight down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can do that, but there's no head first diving in the shallow end.
No.
Unless you're jumping and like, I mean, all the pools say you shouldn't do it, but if you're jumping and you're like dive only like barely angles down, then
Yeah.
it's okay. Like in Michael Phelps, when they dive off the block, it's like a really shallow dive.
Yeah. Yeah. Don't want to go too deep, or else you have to swim back up, waste
Yeah.
a bunch of energy.
Yeah, energy never dies. It only gets converted.
That is very true.
Who fucking knows if that's true?
I think so. Yeah.
What?
It's kind of like, that's that fits into the what is it? Just the laws of physics and everything, Like you can't really what is it? You can't kill an energy really.
Yeah.
Like
That's-
it's going to be perpetual no matter what.
No, that's the law of physics, right?
Yeah,
But
yeah.
all I'm saying is, okay.
I kind of know what you mean. I know what you mean. I mean, it's weird because it's true when it's explained in detail, right? Like I understand how that's true, right? But somebody could easily, I guess, make another law that is just like, well, the energy stops there, but there's a different kind of energy that continues. So this energy is killed, and then this energy is continued, or phrasing it another way, right? Rather than just
No, I'm
Could
not.
be breaking
I'm-
down differently,
I'm not talking
you know?
about minutia. I'm just talking about that one time I talked about if your mom worked at Wendy's, and for 3 years she brought you home square hamburgers, and then she got a job at Burger King. And mind you, you're like 3 years old. You don't know about fast food. All of a sudden, you got round burgers. your whole fucking life changes, you know?
That's very true. I mean, I can't again like I can't say for certain that the laws of physics won't change maybe in 500 years or something, right? I can't say that, but for what we know now and what most of the evidence points to, that's the best way to explain it. It's the best way that we can explain it until there's a better way to explain what's going on
Okay,
around
so
us.
like the North Korean government uh doesn't let them have outside media, right? And they tell him that he's like God or whatever, the leader and all this stuff.
Yeah. They teach them about science, though. That's how they make nuclear weapons. Is they've managed to at least
I know.
advance
So
their.
all that's evidence of is that governments can limit the amount of information that people have. And well, now they're telling us aliens are real.
I've seen news coverage of that. There was some weird stuff where they were like, the government's launching an investigation to see,
Right,
which
and
is
that could just
weird
be
to
a
see. That's
diversion.
very
But all I'm
strange.
saying is governments limit information, um, and we don't know.
Yeah.
Laws of physics. Like, what if like when you get into a major university, like or like you get into a position where you're making large discoveries, they're like, okay, listen, for whatever reason, we need to tell people that these laws are still like, what if they were doing it even in a nice way? Like, if everybody knew the real laws of physics, we would implode, you know, and they had to protect us by perpetuating a false narrative of what science is.
I'm so that could I can't say anything that would disprove that wouldn't be true because I have no idea. I mean, who knows?
Especially for
Honestly,
us that are not scientifically advanced, we wouldn't know.
but it's
Just
weird
these.
because it would have to be on such like a large scale. Like going
Who
back to the
cares?
other thing of
Who
like
cares?
it'd have to be in such a large scale because whenever you're like sitting in a class and all these students are starting to understand physics, right? There's
Yep.
certain things that it works because it's illustrated in front of you, right? Like there's some things where this experiment does the same thing every time. It's illustrated in front of the class, even in lower grades, even people who don't become scientists, who just took a class on a certain topic, right?
Mm-hmm.
They're being shown stuff that actually makes sense and actually works according to what this says.
Mm-hmm.
So the physical evidence is there, and even if it is different or the reason could be partially different, it works.
Yeah.
So when you're trying to use it, you can use it to a certain point of success, and you will produce conditions that will allow you to do something.
Yeah, so what if there was some entity, and maybe it would be the people concealing it or otherwise, that had controls to affect the actual physical laws? And
That would be very interesting.
so one of the physical laws, the true ones, would be you'd be able to have an effect on the perceived physical laws. And so the protection would be to maintain some certain settings that we would have.
It's
And
like the Matrix. That we're going back to the Matrix discussion too, where like I couldn't disprove if life was a simulation. I definitely could not
yeah, for sure not.
disprove it. Like again, I could wake up in bed one day and Morpheus is just staring over my bed, and I'm like, oh, he's like, take it. I'm like, okay, all right, take the red one. I know what happens when you take the blue one. Apparently,
What if you take
just
it too
wake up.
soon and he didn't have time to explain that the movie was actually convincing people to take the wrong one, and then you're just gone?
Yeah, and then it's like he didn't want.
Yeah, you just had the false information. But just one last data point on this. There is overwhelming evidence that it's possible to brainwash people,
Oh, absolutely,
influence
yeah.
them in a subconscious way. So
In history, there's examples of it too.
Yeah.
And people do a lot of things when everybody's doing it. A and B, maybe there's a fear aspect as well. And there's multiple different things that lead to people following a group, so to speak.
mhm.
But yeah, I don't know. I guess right now I know what I know, and my mind's open to new possibilities, and I'm just waiting to see see what I see. That's kind
I
of
loved my argument of
what if they're controlling the laws
before that, where I
so.
just said I just said a one-word answer, and you're like, oh yeah, I kind of get what you're saying. I was like, well, and you're like, oh yeah, I kind of
Did I say that? I didn't know that.
No, because I don't exactly remember. We could play the tape if we wanted to. That's a big deal because there's some things about eye contact that I don't think have been fully people
I know what you mean. Yeah, all the
but it was a good argument, and it was actually a bad argument, and I can't believe that it worked. It's like it was basically like, well, I guess we don't really know. You know what I'm saying?
I'm curious to know what it is, cause yeah, apparently I thought it was substantial enough. I mean, I do know this, like, if it did involve you just saying, like, well, we don't really know. If you said that, I would respond with, I mean, yeah, like I can't even say that I really know, cause I don't know,
Yeah.
I think everyone.
Oh, I don't know. Why did you say that? No, I'm just kidding. Anyway. Yeah, I mean, it's too much. It's too much to handle, and I'm taking levitation lessons, so we'll be reporting back on that.
Yeah, you gotta keep me updated.
Well, I'll be up.
You'll be up, yeah. No,
I'll down date you.
That actually, you going up will update me.
And that's actually
on what's going on.
Yeah, and what I said was actually what do you call it when it's not racism but it's against a specific group?
I'm pretty sure that's just racism. There's a lesser version of racism, which would be you're being prejudiced.
Okay, maybe I'm being prejudiced by calling it down dating somebody because there's a little people population that we don't want to offend.
Oh, yeah, no.
Down dating is actually a really bad term in that community, so
I
apologize.
I didn't know that.
I apologize for that.
Yeah, no, that definitely wasn't wasn't a racist term. I think it was like
it wasn't
was just
intended
a subliminal.
to be. It wasn't intended to be.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
And in this case, the intention matters. I was just up and you were just down, and I was dating you. So, with information,
Indated with information.
Yeah, indated. Instead of outdated. Wait, inundated? You mean?
Indated, I think, means you're like you're overflowing with information, versus outdated is like like it's outdated. Like can't rely on that anymore.
You can't use the word in the definition. But outdated is like no longer relevant information, kind of. It's in the past. Updated, downdated, but indated is not the opposite of outdated. It's not like new information. It's like overwhelmed with information.
Yeah, I at least I think so. I'm pretty sure. We can put the definition up there, but I think indated means you're just like, oh my god, I'm inundated with this stuff. Get it out of here.
Oh, that's like a synonym for overwhelmed. But what about inundated?
Inundated.
Inundated. You ever heard of that? It's similar to indoctrinated.
Familiar.
It's similar to that.
Yeah, I've heard it before, but
indoctrinated. So there's doctrines that you're being aided. So
you're being aided.
So you're being brought into the group that ascribes to a certain doctrine. Indoctrinated.
I've heard of that one. That one's
indoctrination, but it has nothing to do with doctors.
No, or being nated, indoctrinated.
Yeah, Ralph Nader.
Maybe Nader, he's the one who's doing it. He
has to go to every different community. Stop. Every time somebody is at a ceremony, he gets shot up. Hey, so welcome to the group. Oh, fuck. And then he gets shot to another one. Stop making so many different ceremonies.
I wonder what he would be trying to to indoctrinate people into.
No, he
I
doesn't
wonder
have a
what-
choice. He doesn't have a choice.
But I wonder what is. Oh, you're saying he's being indoctrinated into this
No,
group?
literally, he is like he's he's the only one who can like sanctify or reside over these ceremonies. He's the only one who can like make it legally binding.
Oh, like a marriage. You're
Yeah,
saying
yeah,
he goes
yeah.
to every marriage and he's like, oh fuck,
Yeah,
another one.
And then he has 3 people do it simultaneously, and he
Yeah.
splits into 3 different people, and then he throws up, and that's why they call him Ralph Nader.
Can you imagine? There'd be so many weddings. I think he'd have to start saying like, no more weddings. He'd have to like tell people like, no more. We're
Well,
gonna call
no,
it something different.
no, but at weddings they're not being indoctrinated in most cases.
No? I thought that usually the process is probably to do with the courthouse and the law, right? The indoctrination. Or not the indoctrination, but actually.
The doctrination?
Yeah,
No, but I think to me indoctrination is a group of people or a set of ideals that people are being brought into. And in some cases it's in a legit and a social or physical contract being signed, and then somebody can be indoctrinated into a religion or an ideal or a cult.
That's
a set of ideals.
I think that's the most commonly used term for
Yes.
that is when you're brought into something, or like I think that's often used with even like religions or sometimes cults. Even you're
Yeah.
indoctrinated into this ideology.
Yeah, and it'd just be so ironic if there was a cult of doctors.
And you're indoctrinated into the doctors,
Yeah, and Ralph Nader was there.
and you have to sign a document
Yeah.
as you're like, oh damn.
What's up, Doc? And he was a duck, actually, a duck doctor.
He's a duck doctor. Going back to the Russian episode.
Right.
What if they all pulled off their masks and it's like they're all ducks?
It's me. I'm a duck doctor. Please put your beaks over there, your mallets. See you later, duck. I'm Dr. Duck.
Only the real good, the real good doctors go to the best. Only the best.
In Dr. Nader. Yeah.
Nader, if you're watching this, come on the podcast. Why don't you?
Is Ralph Nader the same guy as what's his name? He's the climate guy. It's not,
I haven't heard of
it's
that.
not Ted Cruz. He ran for
Oh,
president.
Ted Cruz. No, not Ted Cruz. Ted Cruz.
Stop.
He's the worst.
He
no,
ran.
Ted
He ran for
Cruz.
president in the '80s and didn't make it, but was supposed to win. But George Bush won.
Oh no, that's not Ralph Nader. That's Oh, there. I had to watch. There was a video that we watched in my natural disasters class. I took at Bellevue College. Oh, what's his name? Al Gore.
Al Gore and
Al
Ralph
Gore.
Nader to me are the same person.
Really? Huh.
And that's just so much I know about politics.
Maybe they have like a
maybe
voice.
they
kinda.
don't even have anything in common.
Maybe. I don't actually know much about Ralph Nader. I know that he's like, I know of him, like I've heard of him before, but I've never actually done a deep dive on what he does. Versus Al Gore, I know a bit more about.
Did you get my I don't know what it's called. When I said that he splits into 3 people and he throws up, did you get that joke?
I don't think so, no.
So, one throwing up could also be called Ralphing.
Ah,
You never heard that?
no, I haven't.
Ralph? Are you serious?
Ralphing.
Yeah.
No, I haven't heard of that.
Yeah. There's yakking.
Heard yakking.
There's puking.
Heard that one? Yeah. Not Ralphing.
Oh man. Yeah. So it was a funny joke, but I mean, I almost didn't bring it up because sometimes now, like, I'll say a joke or I'll say a pun. I think it's a pun. I don't know. It's something that's either witty or not witty, but it's like an association. Sometimes I'll just do it, and I don't need you to get it because the people will get it. Some people will get it,
Yeah.
And I'm sure that happens otherwise when you're trying to say something and I totally I'm sure that happens. I see that happen all time on podcasts. Like somebody just says something and you're like for this doctor thing, whatever. You just had a different idea than what I was saying, but now I'm trying not to care if you get it or not.
Yeah. No, I think you're gonna have to, because the podcast has a certain flow to it. You know, like
Yeah.
we're going along, and sometimes there's no time to really backtrack. We gotta go with the flow. You know?
And I mean, it was educational because you'd never heard of a Ralphing.
I wonder how many other people haven't heard
dude.
of Ralphing. I wonder if I'm the only one. That would be crazy if everyone's like, yeah, what?
And there's a song, John Legend?
Yeah.
He had a song before All of Me on his first album, which was produced by Kanye, I think. He had a song called Only One.
I think I might have heard of that.
It has Kanye on it, but basically it's about how he still loves his girlfriend even though he cheats on her.
Interesting. That's a twist.
Right, and then he makes the song All of You, All of Me.
That they are very distinctly different songs, aren't they? Because one's like a traditional love song, right? Yeah.
Yeah, so basically
it's very traditional love song, like all of me loves all of you, versus a song where it's just like I love her, but
he's like listen, sometimes I cheat on you, but that doesn't mean I don't love you.
Those are what an
just
interesting
terrible.
contrast though. Like you go from that, maybe people do change over. Maybe what happened was he was cheating on this girl, right? His girlfriend, and he still loved her. And maybe he realized he had to make a choice or something, and then boom, you go into All of Me. Or maybe he realized, I'm this girl that I'm cheating on with, I really like her. I like her so much that I got to end this relationship. It's the right thing to do. Shift into All of Me. I don't know. I'm just throwing out some ideas here. Maybe that's how the transition occurred. For him.
It's entirely possible. One of Kanye's lyrics is that his penis has a mind of its own. Which is like, it does have a head, like we said before.
Yeah.
He's got a mind of his own. I don't know any of the lyrics, other lyrics. But he's like a gospel singer. He's like that doesn't make any sense.
Sometimes lyrics can't make complete sense. Gotta be a bit out there. Gotta have some. It's interesting because different people can interpret them in different ways.
Mm-hmm.
Leaves things open ended. And that's been happening for a long time. Like
hey, you get off of my clown. Like that.
Yeah. Could people make parodies too? And sometimes it doesn't make sense. Like and you know what? That song even could make sense. Imagine all the different interpretations of "Get Off of My Clown."
Yeah, it's just a clown car. There's a lot of clowns in there, and there's one guy that owns one of the clowns in there.
Yeah,
get off.
Everyone's getting on him.
Hey, get off. The contract said he would be on the top.
Hey,
get off.
That's mine.
Get off of him. My clown. Hey, but he's kind of nice. He was kind of nicer about it than we made it sound.
Yeah, not quite as mean.
Nice, hey, because they're jubilous.
He's kind of being polite.
Much jubile, yeah.
Doesn't want to be too mean.
Yeah, and then there's the Jimi Hendrix song. Excuse me while I kiss the sky.
Excuse me while I kiss the clown.
Yeah, that's what he's saying.
Imagine that. Imagine like I'm gonna kiss this clown. Everyone's like, oh, he's gonna. Like no one does that.
And it turns out he was actually a mime, and that Jimmy just smashes into the mime's box.
Yeah.
And that's how he actually died.
Oh, that would be so tragic. Imagine losing him to the mime box.
Yeah.
That would be very sad.
The mime felt pretty bad.
He would. He'd have killed a legend.
Yeah.
What a terrible mime. Just puts up the box when he knows Jimmy's coming for him. Like, what kind of mime does that?
An incredible mind killed by a horrible mime. And I think it's time to end the episode. So thanks for watching. We just, 24 more minutes after we were already ending, just like the episode before. So thanks for watching, and
Should we do like a clap off? I
What?
think we should introduce some of our characters. Like
They already know about them.
well, maybe someone is catching this episode firsthand and they don't know. So maybe we should do like a clap
Sure,
with the
sure.
audience. Introducing the Pope. Yeah!
He is the greatest pope we have right now.
God bless everyone.
And George Bush, Mother Russia.
Hey, be polite on the show.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.